everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna work on this Sansa pendant. It will be part of our long necklace project, and I've done this pendant a week ago and it was such a frustrating procedure. I have this, well, you'll need 4 of the bezel number 2, and once I was doing a lot of them, I was just trying to come up with ideas, and I just placed them next to each other like this, and I was like, I really want that pendant. Thinking about it was easy, making it was hard. I had to take apart so many times. I tried to attach it with beads, with just some strings in between. It was useless because it ended up being so floppy, and when you're wearing a pendant, you don't want to be adjusting it every time you go in front of the mirror, so I needed to be rigid. So finally I managed, after all the frustration and tons of cups of coffee. And then once I did it, I hated it so much that I thought, no way I'm gonna make a tutorial on it. So I left it aside, and for a whole week I was looking at it. Should I not? Should I not? And then eventually I started liking it. I was like, it's not fair if I don't make a tutorial on this after spending so much time on it. So here we are. So you will need 4 of the number 2 bezels. These are princess cut baguette fancy stones. You can use Swarovski or Chinese version, whatever. And then I bezeled it with peyote, so there's a separate tutorial on this, so you'll need 4 of it. Then you'll need some same color of the 11 Delicas, the ones you used on the bezel. Then you'll need same 15 Tohos you used on the bezel. I was using gold, or you can use other colors. It's entirely up to you. It's just, I thought it's more convenient for me this way. And then at the top, to make it even more complicated, I decided to add 1 bead at the top on the loop. So I'm gonna be using 1 gold 3mm fire polish. You can use any other 3mm bead, or I think you can even use 4mm. So yeah, it's just to put there. Then you'll need beading needle size 11. You can still work with 10, but it's gonna be really hard to go through the beads because it's quite tight there. Then if you can see, I did not remove the ends when I finished my bezel, so I'm going to use those threads to connect them between each other. But in case for somehow if you remove them, you will need some Nymo, same size you've been using here. I was using gray Nymo size D. And then you'll need scissors to cut the thread. Just get your materials ready and then we'll start from there. So we're gonna start, I think it's best to make the loop first before we connect them between each other. So we're gonna just take 1 of the bezels. I'm gonna take the longest tail I have here. This is the initial tail. I didn't remove it just in case if I needed a bit extra length. So I'm gonna take the longest thread I have left and thread my beading needle size 11. And at the top, it has 7 beads. So at the top we will have to make the loop with a Odd Count Peyote. But on this sides, when I was connecting the sides, we will use even count, but then again connecting the top and the bottom as well, you will have to use Odd Count Peyote. So we're just gonna go ahead and make the top loop first. So the way it goes, once I finished the bezeling, my thread is on the side, so I have to bring it upwards. And if you see, we have this top row where the bead goes right next to this corner 15-0. I need to bring my needle to the bead below it. See, this is the top bead here. I have to bring it here to the bottom. So I'm just gonna make my way up there. Just gonna go upwards here, the neighbor bead. I feel like after this one, I won't be working with peyote for a while. I got really annoyed when I was trying to get it done the first time. So I'm just going through the neighbor beads here, through the 15-0, and then this is the 11-0 I need to be at. Now this is Odd Count Peyote, and starting off will be a bit awkward, but if you just follow my lead, you should be able to get it done. So I'm just gonna pick up 1 Delica, and then see the next bead in the row, I'm gonna go through that bead. And then pick up 1 Delica, and then go through that 3rd bead of the same row. And now I'm gonna pick up 1 Delica, go back here, We're just doing odd count peyote, so if you're familiar with it, it shouldn't be too hard. It's just, you know, the part that is very tight in there, that's the difficult part here. And then pick up one Delica, go through the next sticking out bead. And now here, that's where it gets confusing because I have to add one bead here. So I'm gonna pick up one bead. I'm gonna go backwards through this initial bead. See, the same bead we started off with. And now to be able to continue, I have to be coming out of this bead going this way. And where my thread is, it's going to be a bit difficult to get back there. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go through this bead here, the one underneath. And I want to go backwards now. See this bead here? On the other side, there is a neighbor bead. So that's where I want to go. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pass my needle under the beads. Flip it over, see where my thread is. I'm gonna go backwards through this bead here. See? And then I can go back through this initial bead. And that will allow me to go to the top bead. So let me see how many rows we did. So 1, 2, 3, okay. So we're just gonna continue here, odd count peyote. One bead, go through the next sticky point. One bead, go through the next sticky point. One bead, go backwards through the sticky point. One bead through the next sticky point. And now here again we have to make the odd turn. I'm gonna pick up one bead. I'm gonna go through this bead and the one below it straight away. And then I'm gonna go through the neighbor bead backwards and through that bead again. And pull the thread. Then again, back through this bead here. Pick up one Delica, go through the next sticky point. Pick up one Delica, go through the next sticky point. One Delica, backwards through the sticky point. One Delica, backwards. Pick up one Delica. Again, we have to make the odd turn. I'm gonna go through this bead and the bead underneath that straight away. That saves time going through 2 beads at a time, but if you can't do that, you just do it 1 bead at a time, same way. And then go backwards through this bead and this bead. And then pull the thread. Now here, that's where the odd part is, where we have to attach that center bead there on the loop. I have to make some ladder stitch here first. So I'm gonna go through this bead. I'm gonna pick up one Delica, go backwards through that bead again. Go through the top bead. Pick up one Delica, go backwards through that bead. Go up. One Delica, go back through that bead. Up. One more. So you have to add 4 beads with the ladder stitch. That's it. And now I just want to reinforce. I'm gonna go back through the top bead, downwards through the next bead, Just making my way down. And then back through that initial bead. Now I have to make my way to that bead there without adding anything. So I'm just gonna go through the beads. And here we are. Again, we have to add 4 beads with the ladder stitch. I'm gonna pick up one Delica, go through the same bead, go through the top bead. You just want to hold the beads down with your thumb if you can to hold the tension. We're going to reinforce it on our way back down. I'm going to pick up one bead, go through the same bead through the other side, go through the same bead again upwards, pick up one bead, go downwards, go up through that bead, and then we add one last Delica. So now we have 4 beads on this side as well, and now I'm just going to reinforce it. Go through the top bead, through the bottom bead, this bead here, and this bead. And now when I'm going through that first 4th bead here, I'm going to pick up my fire polish and then go through the opposite bead on the other side. And pull my thread. Then I'm going to go up through the next bead in the row. I'm going to go back through the fire polish again. And then through the 3rd bead here in the row. And now here, I'm just gonna make my way here. And then I'm gonna pick up 3 11-0s, go through the opposite bead. And then I'm gonna go through this bead here, the last one, pick up one Delica. I'm gonna go through that middle bead there. One Delica through the last bead. And from here, you just continue your odd peyote all the way until, I'm gonna show you. Depending on how thick your necklace is, you just wanna make sure it goes all around. And when we're gonna come back, I'm gonna meet you back here, and then we're gonna attach it to the bezel. Now I'm gonna show you 2 more rows, how to do the odd count, and then I'm gonna let you continue on your own. So I'm gonna pick up one Delica, go down this bead, one Delica, go through this bead, pull the thread nice and tight here, one Delica. We have to make an odd turn here, so I'm just gonna go down through this bead here, and the one below that. Well, I don't think I can do that right now, but I can go 1 bead down, and then this is the bead I need to go to. And then up through these 2 beads, well, downwards through these 2 beads. And pull the thread back through this bead. And that way you just continue all the way until you have your required length to go around the necklace. So once you have your full length, I'm gonna meet you back here, and then we're gonna connect it. I'm almost done, and I have quite a tiny bit of thread left. I will try to make it last. If not, I will just have to add new thread. So I decided to, you know, it will match nicely with this herringbone necklace. So I just have to put this here and bring my loop around, and see it's touching it. So I can just go ahead and connect it. So in order to connect it, this stretch of peyote has to be ending with 2 sticking out beads at the top. Right now I have 3. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back and attach to one more row of peyote, which will give me 2 points at the top. So I'm gonna pick up one delta. It's going to be a bit awkward because I have a really tiny thread left and I want to make it last. I don't want to be adding threads. It's just gonna make things longer. So here I am. And now when we attach it to the bezel, see this, again, we're gonna attach it to this row. See this top bead here, the corner bead. See this one next to it, and the one after, that's where we attach it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my needle through that bead. And then I'm gonna take it through the first sticking bead on the strip of peyote, pull the thread, go through the C in the same row, the second bead here, and then through that next sticking out bead here, and then through the last, see this last bead in the same row. And then here when I pull my thread, I can pull it nice and tight. That's basically it. I just have to get rid of the tail now, which is going to be a bit difficult. So now here, I want to go ahead and take it through that last bead here, because it's not connected to the bottom, and pull my thread nice and tight. And then I'm gonna go the next bead upwards, pull my thread nice and tight. It's still a bit loose there, so I just want to make sure it's pulled nice and tight. And then I'm gonna go backwards through this bead, and then back through that bead. So, you know, I'm just making sure my thread's not gonna come apart. Going back and forth helps to make it stronger. And then I'm gonna go through the next bead down. And then here I can go ahead and get rid of the tail. Phew, I thought I will have to add a thread. Now I want you to go ahead and get rid of this initial tail. Same way, just go through some beads and get rid of it. You will not need it. So look, we have the top. Now by itself, it's already a pendant. So you could wear this just by itself on a chain or a small short beaded chain. But because my project is long necklace, small pendant is not gonna work. That's why I'm making it huge. And look, it's pretty. I'm actually starting to like it, regardless of all the frustration I went through. So now we're gonna go ahead and connect. Let's go ahead and connect the bottom first. So again, look at the state of my needle already. In these situations, you know, some people like working with bending needles. I don't. And in these cases, I just take my chain nose pliers, take my nylon jaw pliers, and just straighten it up. I always have this next to me. I don't like bending needles. And just straighten it out, more or less. And now we're gonna go ahead and connect the bottom part. So I'm just gonna take again the longer thread, not the small tail, thread my needle, and here the start is actually the same. So I'm just gonna help you a way to get to the top, and then from there you're gonna start peyote same way you started at the top here. So we're just gonna see where my thread is. I don't know where you ended. You just have to make it to the top to this bead. Doesn't matter, you just go through some beads. Well, just not to make any mistakes here. You are not going to the front. You're going to the back here. See, this is the back. This is the corner bead. This is the bead right next to it. This is the bead next to it. That's where you're supposed to be, at the back, not at the front. You have to be at the back. So I'm just gonna make my way there. That would be a crucial mistake if you went to the front. And now here you start your odd count peyote, just like we did on the other strip. And then when you have 5 rows, I'm gonna meet you back here. So now I have my 5 rows of peyote, and how you count it, see the first row you added, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you should end up with the 2 pointies at the top. So now we're just gonna connect it to the top, the one we attached the loop to, and now we connect it at the back as well. So where you connect it, just make sure you pull your thread nice and tight. See again, this is the point, this is the bead right next to it, you go the bead below, and you make sure you are looking at the back of your bezel, and pull your thread. Here I'm gonna go through this pointy bead. Let's set it next to each other so you can see easily. So see, I went through the top through the point at the bottom, and now you go through the second bead of the same row. See this one? Second bead right next to it. And pull your thread. And now here you go through the second point here. And now through the last bead here. And now you want to go ahead, hold this together and just pull the thread nice and tight. And that's it, that's zipped up. And now we're just gonna make my way here. Just make sure you hold it down and pull your thread so it's not loose. Go through the next bead. Pull your thread. Go through this bead here. Pull your thread and go through this bottom bead. Can be tricky. That's why I said it's a very frustrating project. And then pull your thread. And now I'm gonna flip it over. And what I'm gonna do, see where my thread is at the bottom? I'm gonna go through this bead here. See the point? The bead next to it, you go through the bead down. And pull your thread. And now here, we'll need some 50 nose. This. Pick up 4 50 nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 50 nose. Now, see that, okay, this is the corner. I'm coming out on the other side. This is the corner, this is the bead down, this is the bead after that, and see this middle bead? That's where we have to go. Just see the middle bead here, the one on top of that. And then pull your thread. And then pick up 4 50 nose See this bead here? We're gonna go through this way. And pull your thread. We're basically done connecting the two. Just have to get rid of the tails. It's another couple days gone by. It's 8 a.m. in the morning. I just woke up, grabbed myself a cup of coffee, and I'm determined to finish this project because I don't know why this project became such a frustration for me. I just want to get it over with and then get to work to some things that I really like. Now I went ahead, took one, and thread my needle with the longest tail. Probably this one we'll just get rid of in the end. So now I'm going to show you where we have to be to start our period on this part. So see the corner, see the beads in this row. We have to go one row below. So see this one. This is the row we have to go to, the second one. And where we have to be coming out of is 1, 2, 3, this third bead going this way. So I'm just gonna bring my needle there. So I'm just gonna go, I have to be coming out of this one. So I'm just gonna go here. This one. And then again, 1, 2, 3. This is the bead I have to be coming downwards. And that's where we start our period. I'm gonna pick up one Delica and then go through the next. See this one coming out of? I'm gonna go in the same row, next bead. And pull the thread, pick up one Delica, and then go through the last bead here, this one. And now we're coming out here, we just continue our simple period. I'm gonna pick up one Delica, go through the sticky point. So this is going second row. Just wanna pull here nice and tight. Pick up one Delica, go through the next Delica. So we have to have 4 rows. Now we have 2. I'm gonna pick up one Delica, go through this bit here. One Delica, go through this bit here. That's 3 rows and 1 more. One Delica, go through this bit here. One Delica, go through this bit here. And now I have 4 rows. And now all we have to do is connect it to this part here this way. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and get rid of this tail, this small tail on this bezel, because it's just gonna keep on getting on the way. We don't need this. So go ahead, get rid of this tail, and I'm gonna meet you back here. And see this tail on this one as well? The one we already connected? Get rid of this tail as well. You're not gonna need it. And now with all the tails out of the way, we have to find a place where we're gonna connect this stretch we just did. And again, you take this one, we're gonna connect it to the lower part of the bezel now, this one. And see this corner, see the bead under, the next bead underneath, see this second row bead, we're gonna go downwards on that bead. And now, once I know where I am, I can just flip this over, put it down. And now, once we went here, I have to go this way. All we do is just zigzag back and forth. Go through the first sticky bead. Now on this side, see this one we came out of? I'm gonna go next down this bead here. the thread. And now I have to go through the last sticky bead on this side. And then go through the sticky bead on this side. See where I'm coming out of? The next bead down. And now I can just lay them next to each other like this and pull the thread. Nice and tight. Just make sure you adjust a bit. And that's it. And now once we connect it, we're just gonna reinforce and make my way back to this initial bezel we just attached. I'm coming out here. To make my way back, I have to turn around. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go this bead up. I'm gonna go neighbor bead downwards on this side. And then back through this bead. We have to go through this initial bead we were coming out of to make our way back to the peyote stitch. And then we can skip to the peyote. Go this bead here. And while I'm making my way here, I want to make proper calculations because see this corner bead here, this one, I want to be going this upwards. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna continue my peyote on the way up. And now, here once I reach the last bead, I'm gonna make my way downwards. Here. And just zigzagging through beads, I'm gonna make my way to this bead here. This bead going upwards. So I'm gonna go through this bead here. Pull the thread, go through this bead here, pull the thread, and I'm finally where I'm supposed to be at this bead here going upwards. And now we can go ahead and attach the 50 nose. I'm gonna pick up 3 50 nose. And on this side, see the second row here, 1, 2, I'm gonna go through the third bead. Through the second bead. This is the second row going. I'm gonna go through the second bead of this row upwards. And now here I'm gonna pick up 4 50 nose, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then see this row we're going 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go through the third bead of the same row. This is the bead we're coming out of. This is the second bead. We're gonna go through the third bead. And just pull the thread. And this side is done. Now I'm gonna show you how to connect this side to this one. And the last bezel you can connect on your own, mirroring exact same image on this side. So whatever we did here, you do same way, but it's just when you're attaching the 50 nose, you just have to mirror it. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna make my way to this side, and well, once I pass a couple beads, I'm gonna show you where exactly I'm supposed to be. I'm just gonna go through this bead here, pull the thread nice and tight through the next bead here. Pull the thread nice and tight. And then go downwards bead. We have to be going through, again, see this row here, second row, 1, 2, 3. This is the bead we have to be coming out of. So I'm just gonna make my way there. And let's see on the other side where I am, 1, 2, 3. Yep, so I can just go down this bead here, pull my thread. If it's confusing, just remember the bead you have to be coming out of. See the second bead and this bead on the second row, 1, 2, 3. This is the bead you have to be coming out of, going upwards. So I'm just making my way up there. And I'm finally where I'm supposed to be coming out of on this bead. The third bead in the second row. And now I can start my peyote. I'm gonna pick up one Delica, go through the next bead. Pick up one Delica, go through the next bead, which is the corner bead here. Pull the thread and continue your peyote. Pick up one Delica, go backwards. Just remember you have to do 4 rows of peyote here as well. One Delica, go through the next sticky bead. So that's 2 rows. One Delica, go through the next bead. One Delica, go through the next bead. That's 3 rows and 1 more. One Delica, go down. One Delica, go down. And then here I'm just gonna hold the strip and pull my thread nice and tight, and I have to connect it to the other side. So I'm just gonna hold it in place like this, where I have to go through, see this corner bead in the second row. This is the second row. See this second 15 row right next to it, this bead here. We have to go through that bead. I'm gonna go upwards. I'm gonna go through this Delica here. Sticky bead on this side. I'm gonna go through the second bead in this row. See this one? This bead we're coming out of, I'm gonna go through the second bead in the same row. Pull the thread. I'm gonna go through the last sticky bead on this side. And then through the third bead on this side. And then when you've gone through that bead, you can go ahead, pull it, put it down, and pull your thread nice and tight. And now if you turn it around, look. And now again, we have to make my way, I have to make my way this way to add the 15 rows. So all I have to do is just go back through the peyote stitch here. So to make my way back, I have to turn around again. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go up this bead. I'm gonna go down the neighbor bead here. That will allow me to go back through that initial bead to get on the peyote stitch, see? And then I can go through this bead here, the one right next to the peyote stitch. Just turning around. And now I can get onto the peyote stitch to make my way to the other side. Look at my needle, it's terrible how bendy it is. And then through the top bead on this one. And now I can just take my needle through to the other side. What we have to do here, again, see this second row of beads, the third one, I have to be going downwards. So that's where my thread has to be coming out of. And that's very easy to do. I'm gonna flip it over again, take my needle through, sit this bead next to it. I'm gonna go through this next bead, well, the one here, right underneath. I'm gonna go through that bead first. And then when I flip it over, I can straight away go through the bead I was talking about. Say 1, 2, 3, this third bead. Downwards. Well, upwards in our case. And now I have to pick up 4 Delicas. 4 50-nose, 1, 2, 3, 4. On this side, see the second row beads, 1, 2. I'm gonna go through the second bead. This is the second row bead. See this 50-node, the one next to it. We're gonna go the one after. And then we pick up 3 50-nodes, 1, 2, 3. And that corner bead here, this one, we're gonna go downwards. And that's basically it. Look, it's done. So all you have to do now is just get rid of this tail, and exact same way we attach this one, you attach the last bezel in the opposite way. You just have to mirror the image. The same way you add peyote stitch, and then when you're adding this 50-nose, just mirror the image. And then once you're done, I'm gonna meet you back here. And here are the finished pendants. Now that all the frustration of bending needles is over, I can just enjoy the look of it. I am actually liking it now that I know I don't have to do it anymore. Trust me, I'm not coming back to this tutorial. I'm not coming back to this pendant. I'm never doing it again because all those bending needles is just too much for me. But in the end, I'm quite happy with the results. And you know, here black and gold, it didn't really show much. I don't know, it was pretty cute, and I have this golden black necklace, so it really looks pretty. But with this red, I don't know, it really pops it. I quite like it. I don't use red much in my tutorials, but this is actually pretty decent. So I hope you guys learned something new. I hope you enjoyed it more than I did, and I hope you like the end result, because it took a lot of work hours to do this and a lot of bending needles. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out the description box for all the details, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.